Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Safe House Podcast with your man, Pastor Ferguson, my brother Mitchell, Harper Mitchell. What is cracking, my guy?
Hey, man, we got the flood going on, so.
I mean, Noah must be back again and all that stuff and all the, all the peoples because, hey, I mean, I don't know. And
40 days, 40 nights.
We got Patrick on the ones and twos as always. Safe House Podcast, as usual, on 6:30 every Wednesday. Well, 6:30-ish every Wednesday, as we always say, here at Claire and online. If you are online with us, make sure that you are sharing this with everyone. Make sure that you are tapped in and focused and in here and comment and all that good stuff because, hey, we love your feedback. We love to know what's on your mind. So make sure that you are on with us here tonight, and we always keep track of what's happening. Sundays at Claire, 10 a.m. for worship. I don't know about anybody else, but this Lenten season has kind of been fire. We're only like 2 weeks in to this new series, and man, if you weren't here last Sunday,
Man, you was preaching your butt off.
man, it wasn't even that, man. It was oily up in here, as they say. Music was fire. Everybody was on point.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was crazy.
Mitchell had a little holler in there. I heard him.
Oh, he did?
No. I'm a good Methodist. I don't make any noise in church.
Oh, my God. Stop that.
He was a PK, so
That he knows all too well. There's no such thing. Man, we try to look. Sometimes you gotta keep laughing from crying. Sometimes, but we do what we do. So 10 a.m. for worship here at Claire. Don't want to miss it. Come in person. If you can't be online with us, it is something to behold. We would love to see you here, of course, in the building. And as we approach our fifth Sunday this month, which is Palm Sunday, is our 109th church anniversary. 10 a.m. for that worship. Of course, we're going to be celebrating Palm Sunday and celebrating the legacy of Clare United Methodist Church here in the city. So join us any Sunday, but definitely if you don't get a chance any other Sunday, definitely join us on the fifth Sunday for the church anniversary.
Y'all gonna be eating?
Come on, man.
it is a black church, brother.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
How you going?
Black church anniversary food. That's the equation.
What you should have said was, is it going to be green beans or greens?
Right. I mean,
chicken.
we uphold many stereotypes here at Claire.
I'll find
we're
a
gonna
picture.
have the red punch with the multicolored.
Oh, that's the
sherbet.
only thing.
sure.
That's the
Yes.
only thing that we have not had around this book.
Not in a minute.
In a grip.
Yeah.
I don't think it is truly church after church until you have some doggone punch with the sherbet, and not one or the other. It's got to be rainbow, and you got to look. You got, and in
It's
that
called church punch.
Man, listen. Everybody's church punch. Look. Everybody's church punch ain't the same.
Yeah,
That's true. Some people spike it.
So, Jesus.
that's a different kind of church.
Well,
If they can't, never mind.
hey, but I bet you that church lit.
Boy, all day long. Anyhow, definitely come out for the anniversary and everything like that.
And food, apparently.
I mean,
Mitchell
yeah.
wants to make sure there's food.
Mitchell, make sure you come for the food.
I know what gets the people in the door. That's all I'm saying.
Gets the people going.
Make sure you come for the food too.
That's
right. Yeah, like I always
What
say.
you bringing in?
Man, you know he ain't bringing nothing.
A plate?
You don't want me to bring.
He bringing a fork
Yep.
and a knife.
Empty belly.
Appetite.
And he borderline might not bring the knife.
That's what these are for.
All right,
Let's get this thing cracking because we ain't got no sense.
it's raining outside. We nuts.
Yeah. So Mitchell, I want you to pray because you need prayer. And
Yes.
What about me? Yeah, and Patty. And the people online.
Patty know Jesus.
I'm about to say she knows.
Now you, sir, we're just trying to intercede on your behalf. You know.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll
I mean, if you want to pray, I know you know Jesus.
No. I need Mitchell to pray for me.
Wow.
Okay. So
He's a little tapped in more than me.
amen. So, come on, bro. Let's open in prayer, man.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Even with the weather, Lord, thank you for the day. Thank you for the opportunities that we have had throughout this day. Thank you for this opportunity for us to come together. Thank you for getting us here safely. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for your for what you've done for us, Lord. Just in this Lenten season, we are always reminded of that, and it should be all year round that we're just always reminded of what you've done for us, Lord, and help us to not take that in vain, and help us to dive into this word with you on our mind, with you at the center of what we're trying to do, so that we can draw closer to one another and closer to you. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. A friendly lesson is what we're talking about on this 90th episode.
90.
Man, and they still ain't try to run us off.
Oh, I missed my cue. Hold on.
Yes, you did. Nope.
Too many buttons.
Too many buttons. That's what it is.
It's all good.
It's all good. Hold on. There it is. Woo!
Yay. Yes.
Hey, I got it in there.
Woo. All right. So on this episode, we're talking about a friendly lesson out of Proverbs 18:24. Ladies and gentlemen, I have always heard this verse in that King James language, and something never sat right with me because, a lot of people that are King James, God bless you, number one. And apparently they said to me, like, I was it, and I'm not trying to bust bubbles, but I'm like, nah, fam. You come with your stuff. I mean, we gonna teach, we gonna and usually people quote this verse a lot. I've quoted it a lot in that context, from that scripture, and be like, if a person wants to have friends, they must show themselves friendly. But there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. That's King James-ish. Okay? That might be more New King James. But in the English Standard Version, check this out. Because this is like almost diametrically opposed to any original reading that you may have done in that King James Version. Listen to this. A man or woman, person, of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. The word of the Lord. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother.
I like the New Revised Standard Version,
Give it to us.
updated edition. I don't know why I like this, but it says some friends play at friendship, but a true friend
My Lord.
sticks closer than one sibling.
Say that again, man.
Some friends play at friendship, but a true friend sticks closer than one sibling.
That's deep. There is something to be said about the relational aspects of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that has always concerned me, and I'll be honest, because I've been kind of undergoing some transformation myself and some revelation. And one of the revelations hit me today, 5:30 in the morning, while working out. It literally hit me, and then I had to document it when I got in the car. I know you talk about openly about being a people pleaser, all that kind of stuff, this, that, and the other. And before I forget, if y'all are online, let us know that you're online. Comment, say what's up. Of course, ask questions. Let us know that you're in the chat. Share this with anybody and everybody because we do see the comments.
Yeah, we got a couple people in the chat already.
Yes, Lord. I just want to make sure that people are saying what's up so we can acknowledge them, you know. And so the hard thing to admit when you're a people pleaser, you've openly talked about it. I'll be honest, I've never really openly talked about that part, but it hit me so hard today because I've been trying to work through what this next season of my life looks like. And a lot of people know responsibilities, know all these different things, so on and so forth. But sometimes in the midst of the things that you're doing, you have to discover who are people that are going to be in the circle to help you move to the next place. How do you deal with groups of people, folk, ... This verse, given that it has more weight than what we have always quoted, it gives the suggestion that every person knows how to draw folk, but it doesn't always mean that the crowd you draw are the people that you need.
Yes.
And so this is not a discussion to find ways to alienate folk and to suddenly be like, I don't want to be around. There are folk that are in your life that you know for a fact, no matter what's going on, no matter this, that, and the other, they're there. They show up for you. They will show up for you and everything like that. You don't need to put on airs. But this is the thing that got me this morning. When you bend yourself to fit into a space or you are struggling or you struggle with abandonment, you struggle with folk leaving because they find out the real you and you can't, and the real you can't do for them what they really want. But because you're worried about being by yourself, you will bend, you will bend over, you will bend here and here to stay or to draw people in. So then when others see that a crowd has assembled, this kind of links back to last week a little bit.
Yeah.
When a crowd is assembled, and you're on the outside looking in, you're like, oh, they must be popular. Oh, that must be somebody I want to get to know. Oh, they must have things going on. And the truth of the matter is they could be all by themselves in a crowd of 1,000. Kind of the way that Jesus only felt one woman while everybody was in proximity. When the woman with the issue of blood touched the hem of his garment and he said, who touched me? And the disciples said, don't you see everybody?
Yeah.
And he's like, that ain't what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's kind of the same deal. We have to learn the lesson about what it is to really be a friend. That second part of the verse, somebody who sticks closer than a sibling. Learning how to develop relationships that people know that in this way, God shows up in my life. Not just God existential, but God working through people and through relationships. And I think part of what we struggle with as the church is that we have gone away from being relational to the point where we don't really know who's going to stick. We don't know who's going to really run with us. We don't know who's going to really, I say it all the time in certain ways. I say one Sunday, word be fire. And everybody's like, oh, pastor's the baddest man on the planet. But let me preach something that folk don't like. Yeah. And it's still fire from heaven because it's literally from God and you can look it up and trace it.
Right.
And all of a sudden people are like, I'm kind of cool on him. crowd versus sticking. And I'm not speaking this for myself. This is just, I realize that there are a lot of people that are in the same spot like you and I have been, and we're working through that.
Mhm.
So I want to invite people to actually start working through this stuff and recognize God didn't create any of us to be attempting to draw for ourselves and to become confused about what our responsibility is to the society and to our environment, and to change our assignment based upon who is or who ain't around us. Talk to me.
Well, I think one of the things that is sort of coming to my mind right away is just the fact that, like, I think we downplay the fact that, like, I think we all think that the people that we spend our time with,
Mm-hmm.
we fully get to dictate how those people have an effect on us.
Mm.
Like, there's impact either way. Sometimes that impact is positive,
Right.
and sometimes, like, you don't just get to erase the negative impact that someone may have on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to deal, especially if you choose to continue to spend copious amounts of time with that person,
Right.
right? Like, we all have, and people are multifaceted, right? Like,
Yes.
we all have folks who we're gonna call when we're trying to kick it and
Mhm.
chill,
Mm-hmm.
and then we maybe got different folks that we're gonna call when we're trying to turn up a little bit.
Right.
So, like, life is all about balance and all of that.
Yes.
But you ultimately have to be the individual to say, who gets my time?
Mm.
Like, because that person's gonna have impact on me either way.
Right.
So, who do I allow to pour into me that then helps me to then pour into other people,
Mhm.
assuming that that's what I'm trying to do?
No, absolutely. And I think that part is where we have to begin to see the importance of who we are, what we are, so on and so forth, that we begin to recognize our own value
Mm,
in that.
mhm.
I tell people all the time, I don't want a bunch of yes people around me. That's boring. I need people in my life that can compel me to think.
Yeah, because it's not about telling you no, it's about creating a richer context, a
Yeah.
richer perspective.
Right.
Like, you can still make whatever decision you're gonna make,
Yeah.
but here's maybe some additional information that you haven't. Like, I'm not asking you to make the decisions for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just be someone who's willing to sit in the unknown with me.
Right. And that's something that people are not always prepared for. And some people don't realize how significant, just being in that type of space and functioning in that way is, And I think that's something that we have to continue to wrestle with. That we have to continue to ask ourselves, is this, all that we want? Is this the way that we want to function? Is this the way that we want to deal with things? And I guess that ends up bringing about some real thinking. Like, the relationships that we have, they have to be something that sustains our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know how to draw people because all I need is common interest.
Yeah.
Common interests bring a bunch of people to the table, right? So let's just say, I'm being real generic. I like making money. I got ideas and I got money on the table. 9 times out of 10, people are going to be drawn at minimum to the desire to make money,
Mm-hmm.
to the green, the dollar bill. So if they come to the table because of that, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming to the table for me.
Right.
How can we collaborate to make this cash? I've always said, I ain't got to like you to make money. And I ain't got to like you to get something accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can get it accomplished, let's get it accomplished. Handle that stuff and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Right? But if I'm looking for people to walk with me
Mm-hmm.
in this thing called life, that takes a different type of individual.
Yeah.
So that means that we have to know the difference between companions and friends. Friends is a generic term for tonight. We got to know the difference between the two.
Well, and I think to your point, like not everybody is built for that. Like I think about, I don't know why this is what came to mind, but Fences.
Oh man, yeah.
When I think the son basically is like, I don't remember even what he's like, why don't you like me? Or something. And the dad is like, who said I got to like you? But like, I can't imagine being a child whose parent straight up says, like, and there's truth in the things that he's saying. Like, I don't have to like you to take care of you in the way that you need to be cared for.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm talking about someone who I'm trying to have a relationship with, it matters that you like me. It matters that you appreciate me at the foundational level of who I am.
Exactly.
But not everyone is built to give you that.
No. And it's unfortunate. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say I think that's a mutual situation, like what you're saying. Like back to the money thing. They're like, I get cool with you because you making money. I'm only here to use you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the information on how to get money.
Right.
I'm not here to befriend you. I'm not, but you can look at it like, oh, this guy's cool. We can hang out. And so now one person's more yoked than the other one. And I think that's where your imbalance kicks in because no one's ever going to be evenly balanced. And that's kind of where we fall into our problems in most cases when it comes to like friends. Somebody thinks we're really good friends and the other one's like, no. And the way I kind of noticed that is based on the communication patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it's always a two-way street of communication. If one person, I had one friend who just straight up, she just stopped talking to her. One of the person she thought was her like bestest of best friends, because she was like, "You don't call me, I call you." So then it feels uneven. It feels like I need you as my friend. You don't need me as your friend. So, as a generic term, we're looking like what I'm describing is more like a partner in crime, a significant person in your life.
Yeah.
Because you're both significant to each other. And like I said, it's definitely a balance act. But you can have significant people in your life, like you said earlier, where it's like you're good to hang out with. I'll use you for that. That helps me in this aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call me for advice.
Right.
I mean, I was the same way, like in Fences, like with my dad. As I got older, like I could talk to you as a dad, like as a man. Don't talk to me about being a dad.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that's not a line we're gonna have. We're never gonna vibe on that. It doesn't matter. If you want to just sit down, have a drink, talk, cool, fine. But our relationship is that far apart.
Right.
Because I don't want it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he wanted it, it's now the other side doesn't want. So yeah.
And I mean, think about this. Here's how the text starts again. English Standard. A man of many companions may come to ruin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like, who is in this crowd? Right? Like who is all these people? Like, no, for real. Like, man, like sometimes I think about that image of Jesus literally calling out one in a crowd of thousands.
Yeah.
Saying, who touched me? Mm-hmm. Which means this, it's more than just the healing piece. It's literally the fact somebody got to the core of what mattered to Jesus. Because proximity does not mean we're close.
Right.
It just means that you're in my personal space. And a lot of people are in proximity to folk and don't realize you haven't even entered into the real stuff. Like people be like, why don't you like going to a whole bunch of this and this? Because I don't want to be in crowds necessarily. And not because I can't be, and not even because of my introvertedness, But because there are certain things about being in crowds that don't appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I got to sit around and hold a conversation about stuff that really don't matter, like it's not funny,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not about something important or whatever, right? It's not in a space where you can get to know me. You're trying to get to know my representative.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll use that example.
Yeah.
People don't date the person they meet the representative,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't get to meet that person until everybody is really comfortable with letting the guard down. You meeting
Yeah. To that first argument.
right. No, but that's the truth. Like, I'm meeting
The best version.
Yep.
right.
Sorry, the best politically correct version.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing I actually want people to see.
Yes. But then when you get down to the bricks
Mm-hmm.
of it, you know what I'm saying? When you get down to the dirt, when all that stuff is off, can you still find yourself around me? People say, man, I love to be your friend. And I'm like, you don't know how hard it is to be my friend. I look them square in the face. I'm like, you don't realize how hard it is to be my friend. And they be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it ain't what you think it is. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. Yes, I know I joke around saying I don't like people. No, the truth is I do like people.
Yeah.
I do, I'm an empath, and being an empath and an introvert is an interesting mix to begin with. All that stuff. I care about what happens to people, and sometimes even to my own detriment.
Yeah.
But there are other elements to my life.
Mm-hmm.
To be my friend, you have to be willing, without being asked, right? You got to know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to be able to see and be like, I know something ain't right. And even if you don't see me, you got to almost have this feeling in your gut. I got to pray for my boy, and I don't know what's up.
Yeah.
All that that's not easy. And then on top of that, I'm clergy. It's hard to be a for real friend
Mm-hmm.
to someone that's clergy because of all the other implications, whether true or false,
Mm-hmm.
that surround that, right?
Yep.
So it is not easy. People are like, I'll be looking at some of them and be like, yeah, you are a follower. You're an acquaintance,
Yeah.
right?
That's what my mom used to always say. She's like, you're going to have acquaintances, and then you're going to have friends. And you're going to have a lot more acquaintances than you have friends.
And there are a whole lot of cats that know my name.
Mm-hmm.
They see me, they be like, Doc, I'll be like, what's happening? Like, I don't get moved by that. I speak, I do all that stuff. And, be like, okay, cool. We cool. We ain't like at odds or nothing.
Right. Yeah, you're not the ops. But
Yeah, right. But we
I
ain't.
don't know, man. Sometimes your friend turns to your ops.
Well,
Oh my God.
that's a different conversation.
That's a whole different.
Yeah.
That's a way different conversation. That's that whole David and Saul motif,
Yes.
my boy. It's like when you go from stepping up for the kingdom to getting javelins thrown at your head. Yeah, that's a whole nother. And I think we might touch that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all started. I just
Nah,
I
that
just
was
said
good.
what
Nah,
it
but that
was.
was good. But that was good though. And a lot of people don't realize that crowds are not an indicator of popularity.
Yeah.
It's not an indicator of, like, okay, here's an example. God rest his soul. Jesse Jackson passed away, just had like the send off of life, right?
Yeah.
All right. All the people that were allowed and privileged to send him off.
Yeah.
A much smaller group of people really represent the folk that were really his people.
Oh, yeah. And his son said as much.
And I got his daddy gone.
Uh-huh.
Let the man mourn.
Yeah.
I got opinions, but that don't matter. His daddy gone, right? And you let folk mourn and function the way they function. And I believe that not just in the local church, but with anybody. Let them be. Quit trying to critique what they said, whether you agree with it or not. Let it go. Okay, just all right. But the truth in it
Mm-hmm.
is that everybody did not know him.
Right.
They knew what he did. They knew how they were affected by what he did.
Right.
They knew of the good, the bad, and the ugly because it was documented, because he was a public figure.
Right.
But that don't mean we knew Jesse Lewis Jackson Sr. Right? It don't mean that. There's only a small group of folk that really knew him. And 9 times out of 10, outside of family,
Right.
the people that really knew him were the ones that had their hands to that coffin.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even in the internet age, we call it a parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
With these people who we observe or engage with on the internet, and then we think that we actually know or have a relationship with these people. You don't know these people,
Right.
and they don't know you. So like, but like we've always done that.
Yes.
So, Jesse Jackson. A lot of people are gonna say, "Yeah, man, we love Jesse. We, like you don't know that man. Like you can appreciate him,
Yes.
but you don't know that man."
And a lot of people still will swear up and down that they loved him, but let's be real. Just like when Martin was killed,
Mm-hmm.
it is a historical fact that his rating,
His approval rating, yeah,
was like sub 50%
yeah,
in the black community.
correct.
Let's be clear. Everybody loving Martin after he died.
Right.
When he stood up against Vietnam, see, that was being a prophet. And all of a sudden, they're like, how are you going to alienate people that were actually siding with? No, truth is still truth. Right is still right. Wrong is still wrong. And people were not with it. But then he dies by horrible means. And then all of a sudden, everybody falling out.
Yeah.
And the only people that had any reason to fall out was his daddy that they had to carry out, his mama, Coretta, and the kids. They had a reason to fall out and lose it. Everybody else didn't, because just like Jesus, watch this, he ain't do nothing wrong. He went to a second court. He went to federal court. He was at the local level, and they took it all the way to federal. Local level, they said, well, just pass it along. They can't do nothing. Took it all the way to federal within a day. Look how justice system can move when it wants to.
Yep.
And the guy gets up there and says, I ain't find nothing wrong with this dude, but I'm going to give you a choice. Even to that extent, right? You had people out there that were healed by this man.
Yep.
They benefited from this man. Look, it's not quote unquote in the text per se, but I would venture to believe that people that were fed, by the sea when there was no food, and that were at the wedding party and Cana, and maybe even some of those former lepers that never came to say thank you were out there, and all these other people. I'm just using, as they say, my spiritual imagination. Everybody out there was not a person that wasn't affected by Jesus, but they all said, crucify him. And that should tell folk, all crowds ain't good for you.
Skin folk ain't kinfolk.
My Lord in heaven. Go ahead, man.
Well, that's because no one wants to stick out. It's just
That's the thing, yeah.
It's really it's her mentality.
Yeah.
Everybody can hate Martin Luther King, all these people at one point, and then it's the cool thing.
It's become fashionable,
Right?
Yeah.
It's the thing to do now, and it's like, oh yeah, I was with him the whole time. It's like you was just cussing him out yesterday.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I didn't see the vision. That's how it always works. You get, I didn't see what they saw, but I see it now because I could see. My eyes are open.
I'm woke.
I woke up.
Uh,
I'm trying to get this chick.
Well, why is that?
yeah. But that's a part of that crowd too.
I'm about to say, even as curious, you don't have to then advocate for the harm to befall someone, or just go along with the crowd that is.
Right.
Just stay neutral.
Yeah.
The problem is it's hard to stay neutral because
But it's easy to shut up.
that's true.
It's easy to say nothing.
But I think when you're in a crowd and you're that quiet person and you're just there, you're kind of in this weird realm of where the audience is trying to get you to choose a side. Here's an example. Go to a sporting event
Yep.
and don't root for a team.
Yes.
Someone's going to try to get you to pick a team with just raw pressure.
Yep.
And then you feel like, why am I here if I'm not on a side? And that's kind of what
For
happens.
the love of the game.
But see,
But even if you love the game, if you go to a game, you want a winner. Like some people are like, oh, I don't really care who wins. And it's like, but you're not going to be 50-50. You're going to lean a little bit somewhere.
so watch. We went to a Clippers game months back, right? We're from Columbus.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to be from Columbus and root for the visiting
The
squad.
Toledo Mud Hens.
Right.
Yeah. Louisville
Right.
Bats.
So it's like, unless I'm from Toledo,
Yeah.
it don't really make sense. Now people be like, well, you could do what you want. Yeah, you could do what you want. But if I go to a Clippers game, and it was my first Clippers game at Huntington Park, ever, I remember old school Clippers games when the Clippers were under the New York Yankees farm system,
Yeah.
okay? I remember that. Oh, man. That's when we was winning everything on planet Earth in AAA ball.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to be at the stadium. And everybody wanted to be at Cooper Stadium. And guess what? Watch this. Just because we didn't have it on the air, that's when every kid wanted to read, because when you did all your reading, you got those free tickets.
Exactly. They found the motivation.
Yeah, man. Don't get on that honor roll. Have that perfect attendance. And you start stacking tickets.
Yep.
And you just go. Hey, look,
The library had pizza parties,
Bam.
and everything.
Right. You figured out a way. Guess what? I'm going to root for the Clippers because I had free tickets.
And they're good.
And it was Diamond Dog and all that stuff back when the dogs were a little bit better. But,
That's when they were Franks. They weren't. They
Yeah.
weren't, they weren't beef.
Yeah, and they weren't looking all
I was
scraggly.
about to say.
Yeah, they do be looking rough though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, oh, this is going to work. They didn't look rough back then, but
And
now
These are actually 10-cent dogs now.
like these are tariff dogs. That's what these are. Okay.
Speaking of sports, I mean, I'm not off subject, but like I was listening to this guy and he was talking about people are on. It was a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it's a Subway hot takes. I think that's what it is. And he was like, people
yeah.
are
I
only
love that guy.
loyal. People are only loyal to sports teams.
Yep. Yes.
Only to sports teams.
Yeah.
He was like, they are not loyal to anything else.
Hmm.
And the guy was like, 100% disagree. And over time, as the guy explained it, I was like, he's not wrong. He was like, you can have the worst team. They can have a rapist on the team, this, that, the other. You going to ride or die with your team until you die.
Yep.
They could be having a losing season forever.
Yep.
We
And then-
live in Ohio.
Yeah, I know, right? And then, but they say like, you could be a political party and you could be like, I don't like that person no more. And then just drop them. You could be in a relationship and just be like, I don't like them no more. It was like, but your football team, if they leave your state or your city, you will not pick a new team until they come back.
Come in here, Cleveland Browns fans.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, even like when the Chargers move, people be like, they get real shaky about switching, even though these Chargers, like, I didn't believe it until I really started listening to the guys, and I was like, he's not wrong.
He's not.
And that's how flaky people are. Like, we talking about, like, just loyalties and friends.
Yeah. But and then here it is. Think about this. Companions, right? People in that crowd are often present because of convenience. Being my friend is not convenient. Being my real people is not convenient. But if I'm gifted and you're around, rather than learn the thing that I know or get access for yourself or whatever else, you want to benefit from what I can give you. That's convenience, right? If you don't want to cook, you go to
Charles' house.
No, you don't. Because nobody paying that tab, okay?
All right, my bad.
Yeah. Y'all
I tried.
Yeah, you tried real hard. You tripping. I said,
I'm gonna trip into the house into that plate.
Tripping over your feet. And they ain't no insurance for you busting your head, okay?
Ow.
I'm just telling you, man. You got to pay a tab. You can run up on me. Anyway, when you want convenience and you don't want to cook, you go where? You go to fast food joints. You go to other restaurants, and you know you're paying a premium.
Yes.
Because it would be cheaper for you to actually cook this thing. It might be better, but because you want convenience, you'll pay the tax, right? You'll pay the upcharge for convenience. Some people stay in crowds because that's their payment for being within proximity.
But you also have to know when it becomes not worth it for you
Yeah.
to stay there simply for that quote unquote convenience.
Hey, that's tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
Giving up convenience is tough.
I know.
I know you know, but it's just tough. It's hard out here. I mean, look at today's society with convenience. Everything can be delivered.
Yes.
Like if I want a food from across the city, it might take an hour to get delivered to this house, but I'm gonna get that.
But I didn't have to leave my couch.
Right. You know, I can Blockbuster. We used to have to go to at least we had to go somewhere to at least pick a movie and pray it was there.
Yes.
Because it was a hot movie.
Yes.
And then now it's like I can just pick it.
Yep.
And then be like,
I mean, that's what Netflix did, right? They're like, we'll deliver the movie to your house.
And then they got even better. It's like, I'm gonna just have it on the internet.
Just put it on the internet. Yep.
But then you get offended when the convenience goes away because you feel like you were disrespected. That's the part that people don't talk about. Everybody talk about the great part about the convenience, but the convenience part is always good until it's gone.
Yes.
And then when it goes away, all you have is pure negativity to this thing.
Yes.
Even though it might do something still good for you. You'd be like, I don't care. My son does this. He'd be like, they took Bill Nye off Netflix. He'd be riding that wave forever.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the man.
Oh, man, what?
And Sam was on that kick for the long. I'm like, but they got other stuff. They ain't got Pokemon now. Whoa, okay, brother, I understand.
But again, if I'm paying for it,
I want the thing.
Then you have to know this is now not worth me paying for the convenience if it does not do for me what it needs to do.
Or it's not worth it anymore.
So then there's multiple things happening now because we're unpacking this thing now. It's not just the person that is not benefiting from the crowd. It's the people that are in the crowd having a what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, come on. An entitlement complex.
Yes.
If I suddenly say I have to withdraw, okay? Last week we talked about Jesus literally going through as man. Cousin was killed. Things were kind of just out of order. He went away to try to get himself what? Back together, but people showed up. The crowd showed up. So on the one hand, last week when we talked about it, the crowd was coming because they felt they were in need. But if we look at it from a different perspective, they're coming with an entitlement spirit saying, yeah, you went away.
I don't care what you need.
I'm coming for what you have. And so convenience becomes entitlement.
Yeah.
And so there are people that have come into our lives, and all of us can go down the list, that moved from being in the crowd to having entitlement issues, and they believe that they are owed this. They are privy to this. No, show up. Give this because I'm here waiting on it.
Yeah.
And so when you have that kind of a crowd, go back to that part of the text again, right? A person that has a crowd can come to ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second. How can a person with a crowd come to ruin? A crowd could what? Try to tarnish your name.
Cancel culture.
It could pull you in too many different directions.
Your mama said in the chat, people will turn on you and curse your name.
Mm-hmm.
You can slap Chris Rock.
Oh man, right?
What'd you say?
No,
I said you can slap Chris Rock. I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
it.
And it can be all this. It can be all
It
this
can be
stuff.
anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The crowd can go from we love everything you have
Mm-hmm.
to what do you mean you ain't gonna give us in 5 smooth seconds.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
It don't take much.
Here's the thing that keeps sticking with every point that you keep making. I keep thinking about Adam and Eve.
Talk, man.
Y'all know I love Eden. I love the garden. I love
Yeah.
those first few chapters. And I think about the relationship that I assume that Adam and Eve would have had because, she's the helpmate,
Right.
And so she's here to make life better because you need a companion.
Yes.
So I imagine life is pretty good. Y'all doing this thing together. Y'all working together. Y'all a good team. I don't know if the intention of love was necessarily the point of that story, but like that relationship is solid until all of a sudden, because Adam has been in this space of, well, everything that I've needed, God has provided, including my companion.
Yes.
And so I feel entitled now that this mistake has happened to throw my companion
Yes.
under the bus because I believe that God's just going to get rid of her and give me a new companion.
And depending upon your perspective of the story,
Mm-hmm.
because I know there are multiple perspectives on the story theologically. If you go with the motif of man as head of household and
Sure.
covering,
Mm-hmm.
he left that responsibility
Yep.
the moment he allowed something that wasn't supposed to be talking to get out of line and come to his woman.
Yep.
That's one perspective, right? And if you go with another perspective, because they're supposed to be one, because she came out of him, he should already have a protective mindset saying, I don't want anything
Right.
to come between us
Mhm.
because we collectively walk with God.
Yeah.
If you want to go further and you want to use the word dominion, right? They are supposed to put things in its place.
Yeah.
But the moment you begin to listen to that which you're supposed to put in place, it brings about what? Division.
And what does it mean to be the person who has given everything to a relationship
Yes.
only to then be thrown under the bus when we're supposed to be in this thing together?
Which then gets into the other part of the verse. But there is a friend
Mm-hmm.
who sticks closer
Right.
than a brother, than a sibling,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the statement implies 4 things: loyalty, presence, endurance, and covenant.
Say that again.
4 things that the phrase implies is loyalty, presence, endurance, and covenant. So even in the story you just brought up,
Mm-hmm.
there's a covenant issue.
Yep.
There's an endurance issue.
Mm-hmm.
There's a presence issue. There's a what? Loyalty issue. If you are really who you say you are to me, those things will always be there. And guess what? It's not out of convenience, it's a choice, because you choose now, not convenience, because you know there are going to be moments that are inconvenient.
Absolutely.
Last year, there were people that showed up for me, not just on the day I had to do a eulogy for my grandmother, but the days before, the days after, and still over a year later, that are still there. And guess what, y'all? Those folk have been there more than just in this last year.
Right. Yeah.
I can look back. I know the people that when I go through, when I face this, when I face that, when I've had these challenges, they show up. No questions asked, no extra stuff. I know who those people are. And some folk think it's the folk in the crowd. The folk in the crowd mean nothing. I'm probably shaking this thing. That's on me.
No, I'm trying. It's one of the screws is
Yeah. People that show up for you truly don't do it out of convenience. They just don't. And I need people to understand that. Like, usually those people are folk that you don't know.
Mm.
The crowd don't know them. You know what I mean? They don't know who they are. They don't know what it's about. They be like, who's that? I be like, they ain't you. Like, that's what I be thinking. I can't just be, you know what I mean? There are people that show, and then there are people that are just what? Acquaintances in a crowd.
And I think we should make it clear that regardless of who you are, regardless of what you think you do and do not need, you deserve to have somebody show up for you.
Yes.
At the end of the day, whatever is going on, a lot of us like to just pretend like we don't, but like you as a human being made in the image of God, who's going to have good days and bad days, you deserve to have somebody show up for you.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to be willing to allow someone to.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
also part of the problem we deal with.
Absolutely.
Is people have this mindset that ain't nobody gonna show up, and then when the person does show up, they disregard them.
Sure.
Because they feel like this person wants something from them, and that doesn't mean everybody wants something from somebody.
Yes.
But we do live in a society where majority of people are trying to get a handout from somebody.
No, you're absolutely on it.
Yeah, we live in a very we live in a capitalist country, so let's start there.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Quid pro quo.
Everything's a transaction.
Yes.
And that makes it really hard for people to trust people. Even for kids to just trust adults when it comes to like learning something.
Mhm.
I had something else, but I'm gonna let it go.
But
But you're speaking to people's trauma too. Like,
yeah.
a lot of people can't accept it because they don't know how to accept it.
Well, but if you go trauma, yes, trauma would be part of it, but
Yeah.
the trauma is also, like you said before, everything's an experience. So I could have a bad experience with somebody, but if I want something, like if I want to learn something, do something, or whatever, I have to at least accept the fact that I don't know it.
Right.
And once you accept the fact that you need somebody, then you're a little bit more open to the idea of letting someone help you. But you have to get to that enlightened moment of your own life of where it's like, I don't know what's best for me.
Mm.
And that's really, really hard to put more or less your life in someone's hands for, even if it's for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yet you'll get in an Uber.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we put all
Again,
this
paying for convenience.
right. You pay
Yes.
you pay for a
Yes.
convenience, but yet you don't control anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we will pay for convenience for anything. I'm not going to hold you.
Oh, man, yeah.
That's a fact.
100%.
But at the same time, it's the give the man a fish moment. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
convenience is definitely just do it. But we do it to we was talking about this at my job today. We do it for kids way too much now. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
We give kids outs.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have outs. If we did something wrong, it's on us. Krista deals with this. Parents blame her when their kid don't learn. How my fault? Your kid don't learn. Like I 88 mean 24 of the kids figured it out. Your kid didn't figure it out. How that my fault?
And that's and that goes back to what? Partnership, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Entitlement. Entitlement says you're the teacher.
It's your job.
It's your job.
Mhm.
But the reality is, if I'm the parent, then my relationship with my child supersedes even what the teacher does,
Right.
which means that my job is to reinforce the fact, no, you gonna learn one way or another. And if we're reinforcing these things and something isn't happening, that means between the two sides, what's happening over here? Is it that something needs to be done? Is it that an IEP needs to be established? Because you got a whole lot of kids that probably need one, but their parents don't know how to go about it because they'll say, there ain't nothing but this, that, and the other, whatever. And then they just blow everything off. Or you got in some instances, you have parents that don't want the responsibility of actually parenting. So now you're giving another teacher who may be a parent already, what's the statement that some of these teachers say? These are my 30 other babies.
Yeah. Because
But
they care.
They care, but it's like, when did it become that?
Yeah.
It became that when I'm going to be responsible, make sure you got a roof over your head and food on your table. The fences.
Yeah.
It's like, what
I'm doing my governmental responsibilities.
By law, I am responsible to make
sure you're fed and sheltered and clothed.
Yep.
I don't have to make sure you do nothing else. I can lock you in this room because you are safe and you will go to school because I ain't trying to go to jail or I ain't trying to get fined.
Right. That doesn't mean I have to like you. That whole line from Fences is still there. But then you have other people in the world that say, no, somebody has to show up. Right. And then when that kid gets older, they remember certain teachers because they showed up. And to some extent, I'm a living witness to this. I had certain teachers that showed up for me in ways, and I always went back to the school while they were still there. I always went back and said, thank you. I always went back because I knew the people. There's always been those kind of people in the village. And that's something else. There's a difference between a village and a crowd.
Yep.
The village is with you, right? But the crowd, they only see what they want. But the people in the village want to make sure that you not only succeed, but that you become your best self, which means they will be there. Thick, thin, up, down, grief, everything. They will be there. And some folk reveal themselves when times get tough, when things change. They reveal themselves, and once that happens, and then either we're shocked, mad, or something else. But the truth is, because of the society we're in, and because we're influenced by a whole lot of things, societal and otherwise, we're like, well, to get genuine is almost, to get something genuine is almost backwards. Like, let's lighten this up. Some people know good and doggone well they could not afford any Louis Vuitton shoes. But guess what they would try to do?
Going to the swap meet, baby.
Because they can find somebody that knows how to make that red bottom look glossy. Even if it is not official, it looks good enough. Right? But to get the genuine thing, it looks so different. But I've been settling for swap meet for so long that if someone actually gave me the real thing, I wouldn't know the difference.
I was content with the representative.
Yep. So then when you get the real thing, because your discernment is off, because you're accustomed to what you see, what you hear, and what you experience.
And now I'm annoyed at how much it actually costs to maintain
Yes.
this actual quality thing that I have.
Yes.
When I was content.
You ain't said nothing but a thing about people who be buying BMWs and all these vehicles, and then they get it used because they're like, I can get one now. It's $20,000. I got that, this, that, the other. And then it come time to fix it. Because something went bad on it. They be like, why my oil change $2,000? Why I got to put premium in this, bro? I ain't used to putting $5. Like right now, I'm putting $5 in my tank, which is wild work.
Yeah.
And then you be like, well, their logic is if you can afford this, you can afford the other half.
Yeah, man.
But most people don't see that part. They just see the brand. They see the thing. But the only reason the people want the thing is because somebody else that they idolized had the thing. This is a lot of why somebody got in the office.
Well,
if everybody think if somebody is balling, if I ride they wave, I'm also balling. That's not how that works.
Especially when it's already a facade.
My
Right.
Lord.
I mean, you could watch your favorite hooper, favorite tracker. I don't care. You could be like, yo, they the best. I'm gonna be like them.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Until I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
in the gym.
I didn't see what we all. It's the glacier metaphor.
Yeah.
The
We
10%,
we
the
see the
10%.
10%, but we don't see the work, the growth of how it got to that point, and we deal with that every day, because we don't ask people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we do ask for it, a lot of us be gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm. And that and the gatekeeping again is because you're not privied to come that
You're not
close.
my friend.
Right. Yeah. But I
You
promise
didn't
you.
put in on this, man.
Right.
Well, that's what happens. That's
Right.
what happens. For you to become privy, the person will just charge random people.
Because I got to know that you're committed.
Right.
It's not about us building a relationship. It's about me
And
determining.
I know it might not work for you. I know 99% of y'all, it's not gonna work. But you know what? I take your $250 a year.
Yep.
And buy my book.
Mm-hmm.
But my boys, they helping me make more books.
Yeah.
So
Yup.
you can buy them, and now they banking.
I'm sitting with my boys on the front porch talking about nothing, and the next big idea just came because all we doing is chilling.
It's chilling.
We chilling. We just scheming at this point.
Right.
Because we in a safe space where we can just talk freely.
And that happens, and then people be like, well, oh my God. Like, okay, perfect example in the business world / entertainment world, whatever. LeBron James
Always.
took all, here it is.
Him
He
and
took,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, they took their boys, their close people, because money didn't change them.
Right.
The close ones stayed close when it was bad. Kevin Hart didn't blow up until, quote unquote, recently. He's had a career now, right? But if you want to talk with it like almost like a quote unquote recency bias, his blow up right now.
Probably in the last decade.
It's probably
Yeah.
been the last decade.
Yeah, in the
Maybe
last
last
day.
decade.
But he's been grinding at it
Right.
for
Yeah,
20 years. At least. You know what I mean? Like he's been grinding at it, but now where he sits, it's not accidental. But at the same time, there were people that were with him in the mud.
But,
right?
But you have to think about LeBron James's friends who said, you going to keep us close, but I'm also going to go to business school.
Yes.
I'm also going to
He
learn.
made sure the door open for him.
Right. Like I'm not going to waste this opportunity by you bringing me in by not then being able to then bring something to the table
Exactly.
as well.
Exactly. And that's
and that's probably that was probably their whole MO. As
Right.
right. They like, yo, you going. We gonna find a way to make sure you stay good, so we all good.
Yeah.
Because it only take one person that you good with to make it somewhere.
yes.
And if they really your person, they gonna let you ride unless you become a user.
And unless you just hanging on. Exactly.
If you just steady, that's why you hear celebrities, they cut their families off.
Yup.
Because it's like, oh, I'm just a bank account.
because they became entitled to the
Yeah.
check.
Because they thought it's our money. It's not.
No,
It's my
money.
Who said it best? Shaq. He
Yes.
said 2 degrees to get some of Dad's cheese.
And he bid it.
He said, or you guys start business. He's like, you not about to just sit here and think you just gonna get my money just because you was born and you my seed. That's it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's valid.
And guess what? All those kids got grind.
Yeah, I'm about to say it. Yeah.
They all found their own path because
And-
their path is not their dad's path.
And that's cool because he emphasized it from the gate. He's like, I know what I can do. And look, Dr. O'Neill does
Dr. Sheriff.
right. No, but like he's not doctor in the black church sense. He earned
Yeah.
his PhD. He earned his master's. He earned the bachelor's. He's done
He did
the
the
work.
work.
Yeah.
He's done the work. He was an all-time great on the court. He's an all-time great off the court. He learned everything he needed to learn. He trusted his mama with his money, and he had it so he could then multiply it.
There's no excuse for you to not take advantage of this opportunity.
There it is.
You have all the doors.
Yeah.
Right.
Even my friends. Y'all got doors too. You want me to invest in your business? Cool. Don't screw me over.
That's
But that's what the whole conversation is about. Like we're talking about friendship, yes, but like it's about relationship in general and like how you engage with the people who you say that you rock with.
Yes.
The respect for a relationship.
Yeah.
It's literally just a respect thing at this point. Like,
Yeah.
if I respect you
Mhm.
and you respect me, we
Mhm.
won't do each other dirty.
Right.
But once that shifts, somebody gotta go, and it depends on who go first.
Man.
Because usually the one that doesn't see it coming is the most hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, what happened?
Right.
And, hey man, Becky came over.
Wow.
I don't know.
With the good hair.
She took my money, man. I gotta move.
I mean, and that leads to this thing, and this is probably where we land tonight. Friendship is not just a gift, it's a spiritual gift.
Yeah.
Like, and the best friendship story in the entire Bible to me is David and Jonathan. Like the best friendship story of all time.
Yeah.
Here's why. David was not the one that everybody would have chosen to be the next king.
Correct.
God picked him, told Samuel, my choice is in Jesse's house. And as Jesse brought out all his sons except one, God literally said, nah, forget all them. They got the look, but they ain't got what I'm looking for. David was the one. Now, I want you to see, this is why you should study your word. This is why you should study your word more than just hear somebody talk about it on Sunday, X, Y, and Z. You need to study this thing. David kills Goliath, all that stuff, gets riches for doing it, He's now a national hero. David ends up with a job in Saul's house as the main musician.
It does.
Marries Jonathan's sister. Jonathan is his brother-in-law and best friend.
Yep.
And here's the moment. I will never. I've seen the image a million times in my head. But imagine this. You, Jonathan, you technically are the next in line.
Yes, sir.
You're a prince of Israel. You are the one. And your boy, your brother-in-law, your best friend is right there. And Jonathan has such clarity with God and about the situation. He looks at him and says, I know that you're the one. To the point where he puts his robe on his friend.
You got the juice now.
That in and of itself is a gift that you cannot buy.
Yep.
When your people affirm you and they've watched you go through the ups and the downs and everything like that, and they're not blowing smoke, they've seen you hurt, they've seen you in pain, they've seen you cry, they've been with you in the gutter, and when your moment comes, they don't change, they smile.
Yep.
And they literally said, this is what
we've been working towards.
and this is what we've been praying for.
Yep.
And they'd be like, what do you mean? They'd be like, no. This is what we've been praying for. And you're in the spot.
Yep.
And I'm proud of you. And boom. You don't need to be seen when you're down for people like that. And there are some folk that I know personally that are not prepared to really say and recognize how important knowing the difference between the crowd and the real folk are. There are cats that I've known for years that I thought were the real deal and all that kind of stuff, but it's a one-way street. It's a one-way street in communication. It's a one-way street in showing up. It's a one-way street and all that stuff. And it's just like I said, the revelation came, the deeper part of the revelation came early this morning after I done lifted weights. And look, I had the nerve to even try to halfway sprint on the treadmill, man.
Halfway.
Halfway. Like, oh, wait, on an incline. you'd have been proud for a minute and a half at least.
My knees would have
I
been
was about to
like,
say, my knees are
nah,
already
bro.
mad, yeah.
But wait, man. I felt
You felt good,
I
though.
felt good, man.
Yo, joints was lubricated that
Yeah, brother.
Because
I-
you did an incline sprint.
Yeah,
God
for a
bless
minute.
ya.
And of course, a sprint for a big man looks very different.
It does. It
At
does.
at 44, it looks very at 40.
First off, I ran with Ivana last night, brother, for a hot second. I was like, this ain't even a sprint. But I've been hooping though, so it's a little different. But
yeah. So, but it hit me so hard. It's like when it's real,
Mhm.
it's not a one-way street.
equally yoked.
It's I recognize you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this, but the track record shows you show up.
Yeah.
Like we're human beings. We busy. We got all kind of stuff. But when the chips are down,
Who got you back?
Jonathan literally said, I know that it should be mine, but I know God and I know you, and I can see the hand of the Lord on you, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you arrive where you need to arrive. So much so that he's the one that saved his boy.
Yep.
What's that phrase? You win, I win.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's definitely a thing that we deal with where it's like friends get jealous of friends.
Oh, man, listen.
One friend doing it big. Oh, you out here. You got the big house. You got the kids, the family. You got the life I want. And it's like, all right, but you get to travel and you ain't got to do everything green on the other side.
Right?
But that jealousy, instead of just being happy for the other person on their accomplishments, it's like, why can't I have that stuff?
Well, and
And that's what I mean. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
no.
was gonna say, but that's what. Ironically, that's when relationships get real weird
yeah.
because then it's either that or what you said, where I'm constantly giving into this relationship and you're constantly taking. And that could balance out because it's like you might be like, yo, let's go get lunch, and you always buy it, but then they're always there for you.
Yes.
It might not be financially,
Yes.
but if you just need to just go and just be somewhere,
Yes.
that person ain't never say no to you. So like it ain't gotta be an equal, $2 mentality.
would you say loyalty, presence,
Yeah.
endurance,
Covenant.
You know how my mom told me this. Yeah, I know you on the chat, Mom. I can't see you, but I know you on there. She got this phrase. I don't know exactly how she says it, but she would constantly help anybody.
Yeah.
But she say, when I need help, and if I just need a sandwich, please give me a sandwich.
Mhm.
She's not asking you to give you the $2,000 I loaned you 20 years ago or anything like that. She's like, but if I need something and I was there for you, I hope that you at least help me.
Yeah.
And that's really hard for some people to just be on that end, not the receiving side of the help,
Yeah.
but when I need the person that's giving the help,
Mhm.
and then now I need the help.
Right.
And then now it's like, well, all the people I help, they all vanished. They don't care about me no more. I think that's what happens with a lot of our older generation too. Like they help their kids, grandkids, this, that, the other. They end up somewhere and no one wants to come see them, or your own family do it to you.
And that's that, and that's the heart of why some of that is the heart of why this thought has not left me since last week.
Mhm.
Because, man, what does it really look like to be in that kind of relationship with real folk? And, yeah, you start looking up, be like, where are all the, and it's like, when I did this.
Mhm.
So my grandfather taught me years ago. He straight up said to me, he would do some stuff for me this day. And I was like, one day I'm going to pay you back. He said, that ain't why I do it. When I give it, it's gone.
Right.
When I give it, it's gone.
Yeah.
Even if you pay it back, what I gave was already gone.
Right.
Because that's what it is. But now I take care of my grandfather at 95. And as much as he hates a lot of the things that I now have to do for him, I remind him, no matter what, this is seed that was planted that's coming to harvest.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to do it not because of anything else coming my way, but because of the relationship I have with you. And some people don't realize that kind of mentality is the one that will rebuild a whole society.
Mm-hmm.
It literally would rebuild a whole society if we actually said it's not a quid pro quo. It's literally, man, I'm going to find a way to make sure that I appreciate what you've done. And here's where I could kind of push it. And then I should be good on this. I'm going to push this limit. We haven't said this tonight. Even though we've distinguished it between crowds and those that are really with us, could it be that if we actually were in practice of this within our small circles,
Mm-hmm.
that we could create an environment, not necessarily of a bigger inner circle, but we create an environment where the need for crowds and attention could finally dissipate.
Right.
Where even if you're not my person, because you are who you are, I'm going to still make sure that you're good. I'm going to make sure that because of who you are as a human being created in the image and likeness of God, I'm going to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to treat you well. You may not be able to handle what all this may entail, but something about me will allow me to be like, okay, I'm going to make sure that whatever it takes, that you're good, that you're this, that you're that, and I'm talking about the inner relationships create the environments that show what? Respect, honor, all that kind of stuff. So then there's no need then for crowds. You then have real community.
So, if in that, how do I want to ask this question? We need to learn how to do that in our inner circle.
Yeah.
But what are we lacking in our relationship, whether that's one-on-one or as a group, with God? Because God wants to show up and do that for us, and we oftentimes don't allow either. We don't open ourselves up to let God do what God does, or when God does the thing, we oftentimes take credit for like we didn't see God's hand in it. That's just me persevering and getting through. So like, how do we do a better job of leaning into that sort of intimacy with God to then be able to, before we even go into our inner circle?
I'm gonna pick the mic up because I'm standing now. But ego is like the biggest thing that we deal with. I mean, ego comes with wanting to keep up with the Joneses. It comes with I'm better than you. It comes with I don't want your help. All that's ego.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have ego, if we learn to accept that I'm not perfect, I might not be able to get it out the mud on my own. I'm okay with accepting someone's help. I'm okay with giving somebody credit to help me. Then we could do that. A lot of that does occur in the world, just not in capitalist worlds where the world is slow. You go to like, I won't say third world countries, but like second world, I guess that's what you would call it.
Man, we're third world right now.
Yeah, but the money don't look the same.
Facts, but
yeah, I get you. But like, if you're in a community where, let's just say we took Berwick,
right?
If they had a garden and you had a guy that could put roofs on, and he just need food, and he's like, "Well, I need a roof. Can we? You good with that? Yeah, I can do that for you." That's what we talking about. Is when everybody understands that I have a skill, you need me, I need you. Let's just figure this out. Having no ego and saying, I can figure it out on my own. I don't need you. Would you try me? I'm not as good as you are to do this. That's where our problem comes in. I mean, a lot of that is the issue.
So then to tie it back to the heart of the original question about our connection to God in this, the reason that we can't function initially as in how we take care of and do this and do that is because we're not relational with God.
Yeah.
So if people say, I follow God or I follow Jesus, but there is a nature of being relational. If I don't know how to be relational in my spirit life, there's a high likelihood that I don't know how to be relational with anything or anybody
Right.
that is supposedly created in the image of said one I should be in relationship with.
What God is trying to teach me is what I am then supposed to give to other, like the grace that God meets us with, the provision that God gives us. Those are like, there's ain't nothing we can do for God, right? And like that's the whole thing of like, he calls us to be in relationship with him, not because we give him anything or not because we give God anything, but through that relationship, we learn how to be in relationship with other people.
And so because of that, then I have to do the work of saying, God, I want to understand. I want to understand you. I want to understand how I relate and how I come into this in connection with you. A lot of people, and phew, a lot of people only see God from a punitive, corrective perspective.
Yeah.
And so they function out of fear, like I do good out of the fear.
To make sure I don't get the punishment.
Right.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, relationship teaches you how then to really operate. So if I am in relationship with God, I learn how to operate within that because I learn all the different things that I can about God and how I relate to God in ultimately. Okay, God is creator, I'm the created. Okay, that's one element. But God also wanted me initially as human being to have dominion over the earth, to function in a way to keep order, which then means that in my life, I have to know how to have order. So then when I deal with stuff, I deal with it not from a scattered place, but literally, since you brought up creation, and God brought from chaos order.
Yep.
So if God brought from chaos order, then my job, if I'm to be like, is to come to a place where I'm not overrun by chaos, but learn how to address chaos and bring order. What Adam did not do. Adam allowed chaos to overtake. Human beings allowed chaos to overtake order, and then Eden became off limits.
Well, and
So
what I've learned so much about relationships is that relationships require the ability to know how to repair. And like you said, Adam allowed the chaos, but Adam also could have found an opportunity for repair in that situation. And I feel like that's where we lose so much of like, I don't know how to, something went off course in this relationship, in this friendship, in this marriage, in this whatever.
Yeah.
Even with God, like, I got to learn how to have a repair conversation with God.
Yeah.
Because yes, he's going to hold me to a standard. And yes, there will oftentimes be consequences or maybe even punishment for not meeting. But like to be able to sit with God in that space and say, hey, I messed up and I'm willing to do what is required to bring this relationship back into some sort of cohesion that was lost in the sin, or you know what I mean? And so like we lose because, like you said, a lot of times we just opt out, we walk away.
Yeah.
We don't ever choose to actually do the hard stuff of the repair because it's uncomfortable or because of our ego, because it's like I have other options.
Right.
I can always walk away. There's always something else to do.
Yeah.
But if I can't have a repair conversation with God, I'm not going to know how to have a repair conversation with anybody else in my life.
No one wants to lose. No one wants to lose.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So hopefully from this conversation, people have learned or have begun to engage in the idea of what does it mean to really be relational ultimately. And maybe for all of us, we need to take a time and take a moment to just kind of step back and say, are we really doing all that we can to really be in connection and in relationship with people that come into our lives? Understand that the crowd is not always going to be what you need it to be. The crowd is only a collection of individuals and circumstances that ultimately just want a piece of you. But if we learn how to be in connection with God, we learn how to connect with others. And as we learn how to connect with others, we have a better opportunity at being our best selves for God and for one another. So may the Lord bless you, keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, give you peace until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
See you next week.
Praying for y'all.